All right, so now we're going to actually just do some random kind of hints and homework type problems you may see. This used to be number 31. It is, I don't think, anymore. Over cosine of x plus cosine of y. It's a lot. You need to show that that equals 0. Right? And the only way to do this is to find your common denominator. In your common denominator, the only way you're going to get on this is to multiply these together. All right. Well, how do you find a common denominator? Well, I had to multiply this by this. This numerator is going to be cosine of x minus cosine of y. And I'm going to be multiplying that by cosine of x plus cosine plus my sine of x minus sine of y times my denominator here, sine of x plus sine of y. It is a lot of algebra here. But you'll see it actually works out really nicely. If I take cosine of x and I FOIL these two, I have cosine of x times cosine of x, which is cosine squared of x. My outside gives me a plus cosine of x cosine of y. My inside gives me a minus cosine of x cosine of y. My outside here, or my last minus cosine of x times plus cosine of y and minus cosine squared of y. And you can see how this is going to work out, hopefully. In that, these two terms here will cancel out. But that's just my cosine. I also have to FOIL my right side out. So I'm going to have sine squared of x. Outside is going to be plus sine of x sine of y. Inside is minus sine of x sine of y. And then last is going to give me minus sine squared of y. Once again, these middle two terms here cancel out. So what am I actually left with? I have cosine squared of x minus cosine squared of y plus sine squared of x minus sine squared of y over my denominator, sine of x plus sine of y times cosine of x plus cosine of y. Now you may notice here, I have a cosine squared of x plus sine squared of x. That equals 1. I have a minus cosine squared of y and a minus cosine squared of y. If I subtract, or if I factor out a negative 1, that gives me a cosine squared of y plus sine squared of y over my denominator. And what happens is my numerator is going to become 1 minus 1 over my denominator, which just gives me 0. So that whole complicated craziness just simplifies down to 0. You may have some homework problems like this where it gives you y1 and y2 and you show that they're equal. All you really have to do is just set it up like an identity. Just set them equal and then solve the identity. So looking here, I'm going to work on the left side. I think it's easier to work with addition and subtraction than it is to expand multiplication. So secant of x, 1 over cosine of x minus cosine of x. Finding my common denominator of cosine of x, my numerator is going to be 1 minus cosine squared of x. And that, from here to here, is just finding your common denominator. Well, 1 minus cosine squared of x, let's see your Pythagorean identities. That is sine squared of x over cosine of x, which I need it to become sine of x, tangent of x. So I need one of these sine of x. So think of this as sine of x times sine of x or cosine of x. That is allowed. That's the same thing. These are equivalent statements. Well, this is tangent of x. And you're done there. So when you're solving these, you want to look ahead and kind of see, like I just did there, like, okay, I need that sine of x. I don't want to get rid of it. I need to just manipulate it other. All right. And I know I'm moving fast through here, and I'm not expecting you to be able to do these at this speed. It's just a matter of getting really comfortable with them. I've done thousands of these. I know these identities pretty well. Cosine squared of y over 1 minus sine. So you want to look, how can I simplify this? We're simplifying here. Well, cosine squared, I have a 1 minus. I need to do something with that cosine so I can get it in sine. That might be helpful. And that's just recognizing that cosine squared of y is 1 minus sine squared of y. Well, this numerator is now different. Which allows me to cancel that out. Just left with 1 plus sine of y. Last problem. Look and see here. I have sine of theta plus cosine theta over times cotangent. Cotangent is cosine of theta over sine of theta. So what do I actually have? I have sine of theta plus cosine squared of theta over sine of theta. Common denominator is going to be sine of theta. It's going to be a similar problem than a lot here. Finding my common denominator is going to be this. Pythagorean identity here. F1 over sine of theta, which is cosecant of theta. Now, I know I moved quickly through these, but the thing with trig identities is you just have to try and attempt and really know your identities. I am fully expecting there to be a lot of questions. If you look at the calendar, next class is just an identity workday. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the opportunity to, any problems you're stuck on, we can do on the board together. We can work on the small boards and really just practice, practice, practice. It's the only way you're going to get comfortable with these, and it's also really the only way you're going to have these identities memorized. So what I want for this, before we go to the next video, try and solve these two completely on your own. And when you're done with that, I will show you briefly in the next video how to work through these.